Well, it's afternoon, so I have to say good afternoon. We are in Sacramento, and we're heading for Grand Island Mansion. You'll see some YouTubes on that, mostly weddings, but you could have meetings, parties, whatever you like. But it's a favorite spot for weddings. It's just a little south of here. We're taking off to the north. Let's see where our runway is. 30 northwest. And I used to work here for Capital Sky Park, which was a Piper dealer, right over in there. So we get to fly past that. I'll put it on the tail for now, and we'll take the brakes off. And yes, we have the icon A5, giving it a little workout here, and we got a little surprise for you down the line. And we get it up in the green. There we go. Get the wheels up and the flaps up. And we go over this way a little bit to fly over the Piper dealer. I don't think there's a Piper dealer there anymore.
527 BC
right over that way. Right under us is where it would be. And then we say goodbye to him and we head south. We've got a course, I think. We'll see if it comes up. Say goodbye to him.
Executive Tower 527 BC 123, continue for north departure.
There we go. And we'll look out here. You see river. That's what we need to see. Over this way, you see the deep water channel, and that coming in. The port is right over there. Downtown Sacramento is that right down there, and the new airport is up to the north on the Sacramento River. So we're high enough at this point. Get back on the tail. And head down the river. Now the little background on the Grand Island Mansion. There is a Grand Island, but the Grand Island happened because the Chinese, after they built the railroad, they used that labor on building the levee system. This in the springtime, this would all be underwater out here. Actually, there was a guy, maybe it was Fremont. Fremont came up. Let me see if we can get doing the wrong thing. Right over here is Mount Diablo, which is over by Concord, a little bit east of Oakland. San Francisco's down that way. Sacramento heads down and heads west on this side of Mount Diablo. And back at the turn of the century, the ferry boats, not ferry boats, but river boats, would go back and forth. They'd steam overnight, paddle wheelers. They'd steam overnight back and forth, and you could have sleeping, but there was gambling and partying. And most of it, well, not most, I don't know, I wasn't there, but I think I'm almost old enough to have been there. There's a lot of reasons to stay up.
527 BC 123, leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Here we go. So anyway,
Executive Tower 527 BC 123 frequency change.
Back to Grand Island. A gentleman, and I don't have his name, but you could look it up. At the probably the turn of the century, he bought when they came in and he put the levees in and created all this farmland here in what used to be marshy. He got 500, 600, 700 acres, at which they called it Grand Island, and he he raised pears. It made a lot of money. He built the mansion. Then he'd have parties, and they partied up until the time the depression came along, and the depression wiped them out. So that was the end of the parties. But somebody, and I don't know how long ago, I've heard of Grand Island Mansion, for 20 years now. And so it's been around for a long time. And now they have weddings and parties and all kinds of things. Probably in the 20s they'd have Hollywood celebrities, politicians, and the parties were being thrown by the guy who was the guy with the pear orchards. Anyway, we're going down there because it's a place that has some nice YouTubes. So we have to watch here. Let's look at the chart. See if my course is still on here. Yeah, there's the course. And we will I think we'll follow the course, and by the looks of this, where the river goes a little bit more to the left and then comes back to the right and crosses our course, it kind of swings around. So I think we're going to find the mansion right in here. And before we get there, we will spot where they call this Steamboat Slough. Steamboat Slough runs right down here, and it's a shortcut. When they created this slough, it turned into a shortcut and saved I don't know, probably a couple hours of the steamboats going around here that way. They just went straight across there. So I think if we continue flying right at Mount Diablo, we're going to come up to the Grand Island Mansion. Anyway, this was all called Grand Island. This whole area is called Grand Island. I don't know how much was planted pears, but he planted enough that he didn't have to worry about money till the Depression came along. I should have written down his name. I haven't talked about him for probably 3 years now. So looking at the Sacramento River, steamboats, it wasn't, it was probably a 12-hour trip, 10-hour, maybe 10-hour trip. And I don't know whether how much longer it took against the flow of the river, the current. So we're still at 1500, and this is what we're heading for. You can see right here, we're heading for the Steamboat Slough, and I've driven my boat. I used to have a boat up here, and I've driven my boat up Steamboat Slough. This is as far north as I've gone, and then I headed south on the Sacramento River down here to Locke. Locke was a Chinese community down here. And then we're gonna tune in here a little more, and then when the slough here starts squiggling back and forth, we should see. So this is where we are right now. Yeah, right at the beginning. And then there's a bump right there. Then it goes back. Not very far. We're gonna be landing here pretty quick. And it has has what looks to be a yeah, it may be right down in there, yeah, because it has a and we'll land back this way, and there's a pier, I mean a dock right there, and they'll send somebody. Well, we could just walk over to the wedding. Pretend like we're just flying in for the wedding. So we'll just go down here, come around and land, going back. And there's the mansion right there. It doesn't look as grand as it might if it had been handcrafted. We'll put a flap down. And maybe a little more flap and a little power. And just come on around and land. Get on the tail. There we go, right by the dock. And that's it. We're at the Grand Island Resort. So I hope we're dressed properly for it. And we're going back to the main menu. But thanks for watching.